So, I know it's very dark in here. Um, so today was kind of a sad day. It wasn't kind of a sad day. It was a sad day. Um, Today we lost a real legend. Um, I mean, I still now can't put into words like what it all means to me. Um, but today, Stan Lee passed away um, at 95 years old, and try to get a little bit better light. Um, it's sad because he brought so much happiness to people's lives, and just his talent and his creativity and his genius and everything, just and just even just the person he was. I mean, unfortunately, I never had the pleasure of actually meeting him, but um, from everything I hear, he's a very nice guy. One of the best people you could ever know, and it just it was sad. Like when I first found out, like it was a shock. Like I didn't even cry immediately. Like it was just like um it was a shock, like, because I didn't think it was real. Like it didn't feel real when it happened. When I saw the news, I was like, no, come on. Like I had to check it because there's always they always have like the Betty White is dead or something, like, all the time, and then it's a hoax, or so and so is dead and it's a hoax. And so I had to go on Google, and unfortunately Google verified it to be true. And I started crying. I'm not even gonna lie that I started crying, um because this man and his creations have brought so much happiness. They're a big part of my life. They were a big part of my childhood. Spider-Man, um uh the Hulk, Fantastic Four, X-Men, the X-Men 90s cartoon, and the Spider-Man 90s cartoon, two of my favorite animated series of all time. Um, and I think I was introduced to the characters on TV before I really got into the comics. Um, I was introduced to the cartoons and stuff, and all that before I really got into the comics. And then I think around somewhere in elementary school, or around there, like shortly after I started watching the cartoon series, I immediately wanted to pick up a comic, like every time I went to the grocery store, or I would go immediately to the magazine rack and start reading as many of them as I could before my mom got to the cash register and it was time to go. And because she wouldn't always have the money to buy me one, but I mean, his characters are like, they're awesome and amazing, and they do all these incredible things, but they're everybody. They're in every man or in every woman character, like, you can relate to, especially Spider-Man. He's got he's just got problems like everybody else, and, like, he's not he doesn't have it good all the time. Like, probably, like, not even 90% of the time he doesn't have it good. He's a real person. He's got real problems, and then he's on top of that. He's got this thing that you know with great power comes great responsibility, and he feels he has a responsibility. He has these powers that he has to go out and help people, and it's just instilled on me, like, you know, those good qualities, those good things to like to be like, those characters to aspire to be like, not just because they're, Spider-Man can swing through the city and beat up bad guys and, climb up walls, not because he was cool like that, but because, he tried to help people. He tried to do everything good. He tried to be as good as he could be. And, I don't know, like, I just want the, I want the generation, I want generations from now, these generations of kids growing up, and even after these kids, generations and generations from now, I want people to know Stan Lee for who he really was. Not just that's the guy that always cameos in the Marvel movies, like that. Like, it doesn't piss me off because I understand there's not everybody's like into the comics. Not everybody knows how great Stan Lee is. Um, and how he created all these great characters, and they don't all know that. I mean, they know maybe a little bit, but to some people maybe that is just it's like just a guy that always has a cameo in the Marvel movies, and maybe they might not even know who he is at all. They might have to get explained, but it kind of like pissed me off a little bit because one of my friends posted like, "Oh, I'm gonna miss his cameos." I'm like, "I'm gonna miss his cameos too," but he was so much more than like his cameos in the movies of the characters he helped create, and it's just, I don't know. He's definitely more than cameos. He's gonna be greatly missed. That's putting it mildly. It really hit me hard. Like, I don't know what it is. Like, I mean, I know what it is. These people had a large impact on my life, and when they pass away, it hits me hard. I cry. I'm you know bummed out. But I think Stan wouldn't want us to be sad. He would want us to be happy. He would want us to enjoy his creations and his work that he left behind. He wouldn't want us to be sad. Um, and that's what I try to do. Like, after I heard, not immediately after I heard, but a little while after, I started playing the new Spider-Man game for PS4, which is amazing. And it just made me happy. It's one of his most popular creations, probably his top most popular creation, and it just makes me happy. And like, I just try to play it, and I was thinking of him. He was on my mind. Stan Lee was definitely on my mind, but it wasn't sad. I was just like, I'm just so grateful. I'm so happy. He makes his creations make me happy. I love comics. I love Marvel especially, and Spider Man is definitely one of my favorite superheroes of all time, among many others that Stan Lee helped create. Um, and it just made me happy just to play the game, and just think of Stan, and he would want us to be happy. He wouldn't want us to be sad. Of course there's going to be sadness, but he wouldn't want us to dwell on that sadness. He'd want us to be happy. And so, true believers, try to be happy. Don't don't dwell on that sadness. It's going to be a little bit of sadness. There's going to be a little bit. There's going to be some tears, but try to be happy. Like Stan, just think of Stanley's big smile. He always had that big smile, that lit up the room, and just his smile is just so infectious. Like, you can't look at a picture of him smiling, or him smiling in a video or something, and not like find a smile coming across your face. So I mean, just try to be happy. I mean, it's sad. It's going to be sad for a long time. It's going to be sad forever, but just try to be happy and try to enjoy the things that Stan left us. And yeah, I think that's all I can say. I mean, you know, just keep on being true believers, keep on enjoying Marvel comics, keep on enjoying Stan's creations. And Excelsior, pretty much.